It's been raining lightly, but pretty much non-stop for the last 18 hours here in front of the Canadian Embassy at this vigil that's been going 24 hours a day, close to non-stop for this must be 8 or 9 months now. Hence the thermal blanket, what do you call it, space blanket over my head. Something quite divine happened last night in the rain. It triggered something else quite wonderful, quite extraordinary that I wanted to share. Yesterday's video log saying what I'm in part saying what I'm seeing in part now more clearly, that I may have as little as 9 months, as much as 20 months left with this cancer in my liver. Well, the person that I've loved by many decades, the longest in my life, the most in my life, loved by way of affect, loved by way of service, who, in my understanding, has pretty intensely disliked me almost all of that time. Go figure. Within the recent year, that's changed. And there's been, equally unexpectedly, equally undeserved, extraordinary love from that friend. In response to yesterday's video log, the email I got from him was, "Loving, my heart is breaking. What can I do to help you?" I've been asked that question from time to time in my last 10 years of radical service to humanity. I've written of that question. I even have one of the labels on my vlog is "Loving, how can I help you?" or something like that. Because it's a question that I've wrestled with. I haven't known how to understand it. You just have to look at that at the posts on that to know what I mean. But it's been, my brain hasn't been able to wrap around it. But this "Loving, my heart is breaking. What can I do to help you?" was a key to a treasure chest that I guess has been forming in me that I didn't know was there, but I sure can see it now. It was a key in that lock that no one else could have held or wielded that key beside this person that I love so much. And what instantly spilled out of that treasure chest that has been building, that I didn't know was there, was our neediest children, born and who will be born, are me. And what you do unto the least of them, you do unto me. Now those are the words that Jesus spoke. And anyone that knows anything about me these last dozen years, let's see here, I wonder if I have an affection for Jesus. I wonder if I adore what he taught in his words and deeds. I'm being facetious, I presume you can see the 3 crosses. Those words were spoken by Jesus, but when I typed them in an email reply last night, when they came to me, they weren't Jesus' words. They were my words. They were what my heart has been living as it has whipped me around in these crazy ways for the last dozen years. Sane, actually, but they look crazy. But that's the way the heart works, and that's the way my heart works. It's been whipping me around, but I didn't see that they were, well, they're the words written in all of our hearts, but we have them so buried that we're actually horribly taught that they're Jesus' words. No, they're the words on our heart, which we have so mutilated and so buried, but no credit to me. I've been working so hard to resuscitate mine. And it was with just such wonder and joy that that key wielded on my heart last night unlocked that. I was not reciting the words that Jesus said. I was reciting the words that from birth were written on my heart and are written on yours. As you do unto the least of these, our global neediest children, you do unto me. What you do unto them is how you can help me. There's no other way. They are me. This avatar here with tattoos on its face, this isn't me. This is not me. They are me. Our next 200 billion children are me. The ones that your apathy and mine are condemning needlessly to be on planet hell for the next 1,000 generations. Unstoppable, because we won't get off our asses and simply demand that carbon dioxide waste is paid for, not by our children and their children and their children and their children, but by us today. Fee and dividend. What the Republicans love to miscall a tax. It's not a tax. It's not a tax when you have to have your garbage hauled away. Well, it might be if you use a municipal, but it's not a tax, it's a fee. And you pay it rather than sending it on to your children. We need to demand of our legislators no more free dumping of carbon to destroy our children's future. It goes on the price of gasoline today. Rolled it out over 10 years, it would be $10 by the end of 10 years. And you know what? The same proposal is that $10 gets distributed to every legal resident of this country quarterly. Would be between $10,000 and $20,000 per year received to by U.S. citizens every year to do with what they want. Pay for the increased gas price of $2 a gallon by 10 years. Pay for the doubling or tripling of coal-fired electricity that would occur with that fee within 10 years. So instead of 8 cents a kilowatt hour, it'd be up to 16 or 24, which would still only be half of what we're currently sending on to our children. But it would be enough to shift the market dynamics. Do you wind up paying that $2 a gallon? No, by 10 years from now, let's see, $20,000 a year you're getting in this fee returned to you. You're probably going to have bought a Honda Prius by then, or what we'll have, which are fully electric cars that you can recharge in your garage in 15 minutes. You're not going to be paying 18 or 24 cents a kilowatt hour for electricity. You will have by then demanded of your utility that they run the low loss power lines from Midwest wind farms on our cropland, by the way, to the delight of our farmers and the profit of our farmers, or to Southwest solar fields, or you will spend on solar panels on your roof, which probably by 5 years from now simply look like the roofing tiles you have right now. $10,000 a year per family a year from now, 5 years from now, $20,000 by 10 years from now when the full $240 price per ton is rolled out. Or, apparently we remain so stupid according to the polling, we don't want taxes as a citizenry, but 70, 80, 90% of us do want regulation. So stand with President Obama, with your dollars and with your shoulders, with your feet. Go to Organizing for Action, sign up, do everything you can, get everyone you know, including letting them hate you for your nagging them, to stand alongside President Obama, to give him the strength to not only the political strength, as opposed to political suicide, which serves no one, to give him the political strength to use the EPA to do what the Constitution and the Supreme Court now grant, which is to protect our children from the carbon monoxide. But unless we stand with him and raise the political will, 2 years from now the Republicans take the Senate too, and they roll back the EPA legislation forever. No. So stand with him now, as I am. They use the EPA. We get it that way. They raise efficiency guidelines for transportation, for housing and other parts of our economy, which he can do by executive order, but it'll all be rolled back in 2 years or 4 unless we stand with him and not only don't allow our currently crazy Republican brothers and sisters to have the House again, but take that back, keep the Senate, and then we really get the appropriate legislation. It's now or never, friends. That's the science of it. You must know that by now. If not, Google Tracking Plan B, the letter B, from my site with all the current science, all the current articles, not mine, the mainstream science. It's game time, friends. There are seconds left on the clock. It's now or never. Those same words that unlocked in me yesterday, as you do unto the least of these, our next 200 billion children, you do unto me, they're on your heart too. That was Gandhi's bet. That was Martin Luther King's bet. That was Jesus' bet. That's my bet. It's time to unlock it, friends. You aren't you. You're our next 200 billion children. You're not just your biological children. You're not just your spouse. You're that next 200 billion children. Find that key. Open your heart. It is so joyful. And that's what you can do for me. There's nothing else. They are me. What you heroically, courageously do unto them, you do unto me.